session for freshmen who are interested in joining the College of Engineering. So, we have some basics for all majors. So only students who joined campus as a freshman applicant can change into the College of Engineering. For students who applied as transfers, you cannot change into, switch between, or add COE as a double major. Unfortunately, there are no exceptions to this. The COE majors are selective at transfer with a set of courses that have to be completed for each respective major and very competitive GPAs. So this should only be freshmen in the room right now. Some general information about the change of major process. Students do need to have at least 30 UCSB units completed, but complete no more than 6 regular quarters. So that's essentially your 2-year marker. You could possibly be in your last required change of major course or courses in your 6th quarter. That is appropriate. But beyond 6 quarters, there won't be any exceptions to that. Some of the major departments do require that students be accepted into the major before the 6th quarter, and COE will uphold that as well. So we will not make exceptions to the requirements listed here or on the individual major departments' websites. And it is always crucial to have a backup plan just in case. So we encourage you to continue making progress towards a current viable major in your current college. The change of major process, it is competitive. It's not impossible to switch into the College of Engineering, but it's also not a guarantee, even if you do meet the minimum requirements for the change of major. All of the majors are space dependent as well. So we encourage talking to your L&S college advisor about a backup plan. And we do have a link to their appointment booking system on the website. Or if you're in the College of Creative Studies, certainly meet with your creative studies advisors. Let's go on. Students who are pursuing a double major follow the same requirements as well. So you still have to meet the prescribed set of courses that's on each of the major departments' websites or listed in our gear. And then you also need to meet the unit requirements or don't go beyond the 6 regular quarters. Students who are already declared in an engineering major but wanting to switch between, you also follow the same requirements. So still have to do those prescribed courses and meet the GPA requirements. If your major does not have access to specific courses, you won't get any preferential registration access as an engineer. You can certainly talk to the major department advisors about getting into courses, and we'll talk a little bit further about that as well. I just realized I did not say what the 5 majors are in the College of Engineering. Apologies for that. So we do have 5 majors in the College of Engineering: chemical engineering, computer engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. A very common question that we get in the College of Engineering is, what are the chances of actually getting in? In the college, we actually aren't aware of all the students that make the request to switch into a particular major. We only see the change of college applications or change of major applications for those students that have been accepted by the major department. So on our end, we don't necessarily know what the chances are. You can certainly talk to the major department advisors for a better sense of this, though. Meeting the minimum requirements only offers the possibility of switching into a particular major. As I mentioned, each of the major departments has a limited number of seats that they have available each year, and sometimes that does change year to year. So GPA is a very, very important for the change of major process. So the particular courses that you complete for the change of major must have a strong GPA, and then also a strong cumulative GPA. So for students that switched into the College of Engineering this last academic year, so fall 2023 through summer 2024, I've listed the numbers below, but chemical engineering accepted 7 students. Computer engineering accepted 9 students. Computer science has the most space available and most flexibility, so they are able to accept quite a bit more than the other majors. So they accepted 69 students. Electrical engineering accepted 3 students, and mechanical engineering accepted 7 students. These numbers are pretty standard between the academic years. So again, CS is the biggest major, and so they are able to accept more students, and they do have more flexibility in their major requirements, with the courses being offered a little bit more frequently than some of the other majors. Many of the other major departments, some of their courses are only offered once an academic year, and so it's a little more difficult to accept more students based on that. Physics. So in the College of Engineering, we have our students take the Physics 7 series, Physics 7A, 7B, 7C, and 7D, if applicable, as well as Physics 7L, the lab. This is a requirement for all of the for all of the COE majors except computer science. Physics is an option for completing some of the science elective requirements for computer science students, but is not absolutely a requirement. If you are in the College of Letters and Science and you are pursuing physics as your backup major, all of our majors will accept the Physics 20 sequence as a substitute for the Physics 7 sequence. The physics department does want you to take the Physics 20 sequence, so make sure that you stay on track with that. And again, if you are accepted into your desired major in the College of Engineering, the Physics 20 sequence would be applicable by substitution for that. But if you do make the switch and you've completed some of the Physics 20 sequence, but not all of it, and still need to complete some of the physics requirements, certainly talk to us and or your major department advisor in the respective major to learn what sequence or what course you need to take next to complete the requirement. All right, so I'll go through each of the majors and what is required for the change of major. I'm just gonna shift things around really quickly on my screen so I can actually see everything. All right, so for chemical engineering, students must have a 3.0 UC GPA or higher. They do accept students change of major applications at 2 different points. So at the end of spring quarter of the first year and or the end of spring quarter of the second year. And then the decisions are actually made within the summer. But the coursework itself has to be completed again no later than the end of the 6th quarter. So basically spring quarter of your second year. For first year applicants, you do have to have the math courses done. So math 2A or 3A, 2B or 3B, and 4A. The general chemistry requirements also have to be completed. So chemistry 3A, 3B, 3C, or the 1 series is perfectly appropriate as well. And then the labs 2AL and 2BL, and then Chem E5 also has to be completed. It is recommended to also have physics completed as well as engineering 3. Engineering 3 is offered in fall and spring quarters as well as during the summer. And then for students who are applying in their second year, in addition to the math and general chemistry courses and Chem E5, it is also required to have Chem E10 completed in the second year and the Chem E110A and 110B courses completed by the end of the second year. It is required to meet with a chemical engineering advisor, which is Erica and Jasmine, and their contact information can be found on the screen. This should be done in the fall quarter, but they do accept students to meet with them in the winter quarter as well. But I would definitely encourage the sooner rather than later in the first quarter if possible. Next up, we have computer engineering. Students also have to have a 3.0 UC GPA or higher. With computer engineering, they require that students meet with them within the first year. So not a particular time frame in the first year, just within the first year to establish that interest in the major. And then they have two different application windows, winter and spring of your sophomore year. So it's just dependent on when you're completing those final ECE courses in particular. You do have to have satisfactory completion at UCSB of five required courses with a 3.5 GPA in those five required courses or better. And they are only looking at the first attempt of these courses. So there's a list of courses that they accept. So again, at least five of these courses must be completed, which includes Computer Science 16, 24, 32, or 40, so at least two CS courses in particular. And then ECE 10A, 10AL, 10B, 10BL, 10C, 10CL, and 15A, so at least two ECE courses. The 10A, 10AL would be considered one course as well. So even though they are, one's a lecture and one's a lab, the combination will actually equate to one course for these purposes. And then Math 4B is another course from the required list. So five courses must be completed with a 3.5 GPA first attempt only. Some of these courses do have prerequisites, so those are in the blue highlights. And you'll either take these at the same time or before taking the required courses. In order to get into the ECE courses in particular, there is a form on the ECE website that non-majors fill out in order to take an ECE course as a non-major. Beth English and Joanna Villalobos are the undergraduate advisors in the computer engineering office. So you would want to meet with them again within the first year. It is best to fill out their undergraduate student affairs inquiry form in terms of reaching out to them for specific questions or to request a meeting about the change of major. Right. Computer science. So similar to the other majors, they require a 3.0 UC GPA or higher. The change of major GPAs are calculated only using UC courses. In the term in which you're taking the final minimum courses for the change of major, you'll submit the change of major application by week 4 of the quarter in which you are taking those final courses, the minimum courses for the change of major. Students that get denied, so if you unfortunately don't meet the criteria at one point, you unfortunately are not able to submit a second application, so they do not accept appeals for this. For the computer science courses that are required, and they require CS 16, CS 24, CS 40, or Math 8 is also an acceptable substitution for CS 40. The combination of those three courses has to be a 3.2 GPA. And then there's also math courses that are required, which is Math 2A or 3A, 2B or 3B, Math 4A, and Math 4B. And with the combination of these four courses, it has to be 3.0 or higher GPA. And again, for all of these courses, it is the first attempt only in the course. So repeating courses for the change of major is not possible for CS. The CS department does require that you take CS 24 at UCSB to be considered for the change of major. The other courses potentially could be completed through community college coursework or UC online education coursework. Just keep in mind that if you do the community college route, community college grades are not applicable towards your UC GPA. So it just means that the courses you take at UCSB or through UC online education, the GPAs are that much more critical for the change of major process. Similar to computer engineering, we also have in the blue is the prerequisite for some of the other courses. And you would be taking prerequisites alongside the required courses. Right now, CS only has one advisor, and that's Crystal Contreras, but a second advisor will be hired soon. But if you look on the prospective student page for the computer science website, you'll see all the information listed there. So in addition to what's on here, there's just a few extra little tidbits that they provide on there, including the time frame for requesting the change of major and how to submit all that applications. For electrical engineering, also have to have a 3.0 GPA or higher. Similar to computer engineering, must meet with the advisor within the first year. And then they also have 2 application windows, winter and spring quarter of your sophomore year. And again, this is dependent on when you're completing the final ECE courses from the required list. So satisfactory completion of at UCSB of 5 required courses with a 3.5 GPA or better in those 5 courses. The minimum required courses are in yellow, and then the prerequisites are in blue that you would again be taking alongside the required courses. At least 2 math courses are required, and that comes from Math 4B, 6A, and 6B. And then ECE courses include the ECE 10A, 10AL, 10B, 10BL, 10C, 10CL, and 15A. Students that were admitted into electrical engineering as freshmen do have ECE 15A on the grid or their study plan for junior year, fall quarter of junior year, but there is some flexibility that it could be completed earlier than that. And so if you are using ECE 15A as one of your 5 required courses, it does need to be completed before your junior year. Beth and Joanna, similar to computer engineering, are also the advisors for electrical engineering. You can fill out the undergrad student affairs inquiry form for questions about change of major, as well as setting up an appointment to talk about the interest in the major. And also alongside computer engineering, they have a form for students to fill out to take the ECE courses as a non-major. So please look at their website for that information. And our last major, mechanical engineering, they do require that students meet with them in the first quarter, so fall quarter, to establish your core GPA worksheet. And then also every quarter you'll be updating the worksheet with the courses that you complete, and that'll be notated on that worksheet. What is a little bit different with mechanical engineering is that they accept students after fall quarter of your sophomore year. So all the required change of major coursework has to be completed by the end of fall quarter of your sophomore year. And then that's when students who are being accepted into the major will have a chance to actually submit the change of major application. So 8 core courses must be completed for mechanical engineering. These are listed in the green. And then, so 8 courses from this list in green. And then there are 3 required courses as well. So of the 8 courses, at least 3 of them must include engineering 3, mechanical engineering 14, and mechanical engineering 17. 14 and 17 are typically offered in the summer quarters as well. So you might be able to take that during the summer if it doesn't work out to take it in the fall quarter of your sophomore year. And then ME 15 is usually offered in summer and winter quarter. So with the 8 core courses, you do need a 3.2 GPA, and the courses that are an option include Math 2A or 3A, 2B or 3B, Math 4A, Math 4B, Math 6A, Math 6B, Physics 7A and 7B. And you also want to keep in mind, like, physics could be a prerequisite to some of the courses that you need, so taking physics earlier is always better. Engineering 3, again, is one of the required courses. Chemistry 1A and 1B. And then ME 10, 14, 15, and 17, with 14 and 17 being required. Emmy will also look at courses taken at like a community college or a CSU towards the GPA, but only UC coursework is actually counted in your cumulative GPA at UCSB. But for the purposes of change of major, they do take into account the community college and CSU grades. The mechanical engineering advisors are Caitlin and Roy, so you would want to schedule a meeting with them in the first quarter. As far as I know, they do accept winter quarter meetings as well, but again, sooner rather than later is always best for these sorts of meetings. And you can find the information on their change of major website listed here. Um, So we'll always uphold the major restrictions that are in place when you're registering for courses. So some of the courses are actually restricted in all three pastimes to the designated majors. So electrical engineering, computer engineering, mechanical engineering all have this, but they have forms that non-majors can fill out in order to take these courses. With computer science as an example, with the CS 16, 24, and 40, in Pass 1 and Pass 2, they'll have it restricted to declared computer science and ECE majors. And then in Pass 3, it opens up to all students. Um, Many of the other courses like math, chemistry, and physics, they might also have pastime restrictions. So you'll always want to look at the restrictions tab on Gold to see what restrictions are in place. Usually for these courses, it's STEM majors have Pass 1 access and then opens up in typically in Pass 2 to all other students who meet the prerequisites. So on Gold, when you click on the course info button, you can look at prerequisites to make sure you meet the prerequisites and then check the restrictions tab to see if there are any pastime limitations. And if there is all three pastime limitations, again, reach out to the individual major department advisors about getting into those courses. Take a quick sip. All right. Computer science courses, though, sometimes it does vary by class and quarter. So most of the restrictions for those required courses will lift in Pass 3. But again, you just want to make sure that you check every quarter and with it in the quarters in which you're taking the required courses. If a waitlist does go active, make sure to add yourself to it so that you have the best chance of getting into a course. And you might look during summer if it doesn't work out in the academic year to take some of these courses. Maybe you have more access during the summer to take them. Reminder, CS24 must be completed at UCSB. They do not accept transfer work for CS24. For the electrical and computer engineering or ECE courses, again, there's a petition to enter an ECE course as a non-major, and that's just found on the ECE department's website, and then you can fill out the inquiry form to attach the form. And then generally the ad codes are provided by the academic advisors, Beth English and Joanna Villalobos, during the first week of instruction if seats are available. Mechanical engineering, very similar. If a student continues to be eligible for change of major, students will be considered for enrollment in ME courses in the summer and or fall. And you can contact Caitlin and Roy for more information about that. So the change of majors are actually submitted directly to the prospective department advisor. It does vary in terms of when the department will accept the change of major. So make sure to review the department's website to see when the deadline is or be in contact with the department advisor. So CS student or CS prospective students, I should say, will be turning in the change of major application by week 4 of the quarter in which you are completing the last of the minimum required courses. So you can't complete the minimum required courses and then take further courses after that and then submit the change of major. It's the quarter in which you're taking those final 1 or 2 courses that you would be turning in the change of major. And it is by week 4 of the quarter in which you're completing the final courses. With Chem E, electrical and computer engineering, you would be submitting the change of major application before the end of the quarter in which you are completing the last change of major courses. And mechanical engineering will notify you after fall quarter of the second year if you have been accepted and will accept your petition. The actual change of major petitions can be found on the registrar's website or any of the college offices' websites. So if you're not currently in College of Engineering, you'll use the form that's called Change of Major with Change of College. The change of major form only needs page 1 and any departmental requested form. So like, for example, you might need to submit a study plan with your change of major application. So you would submit that directly to the major department. For dual college students that are doing dual college / double major, you'll also need to complete the memo of understanding and the study plan. With the change of major forms, in terms of the signature order, you'll have the new major department sign first, and then the new college signs after that. And then the new college will send it on to the releasing college. So, for example, you're turning in your computer science change of major by week 4 of the quarter in which you're taking your final course. So you'll make sure that's all filled out. You need to sign as well. And then if you are accepted at the end of that quarter, the CS department will sign off on it, send it to our office as the new college, and then we'll send it to the College of Letters and Science or College of Creative Studies so those colleges can release you. And then it goes to the office of the registrar. For dual college students, both major departments and both colleges have to sign off on the form. So typically it would be the new major signs first, and in theory, the existing majors should sign second, although oftentimes the new college will sign after the new major, and then the remaining major department, and then the existing, or did I say that right? New college will sign last. And so again, we'll work with students in terms of making sure that you get the signature order right. But if you have questions about that, definitely feel free to reach out. In terms of general education, the College of Engineering general education requirements are pretty similar to the College of Letters and Science Bachelor of Science general education requirements. The ones that are the same is Area A1, Area D, Area E, F, and G. So those will all apply simultaneously to both colleges. With Area A2, COE does have a much smaller list of acceptable courses than the College of Letters and Science. So you can always look in the UCSB general catalog, our GEAR, which is our general engineering academic requirements booklet, or our website for a list of approved courses. So just a special note, English 10 will not count towards Area A2 for the College of Engineering. We do accept some courses in Writing 105, 107, and 109, but not all courses. Letters and Science will accept any course within those letter or number designations, but COE has a much smaller list of acceptable courses. Courses that apply to letters and science special subject area requirements, ethnicity, European traditions, world cultures, and special subject writing will apply also to the College of Engineering special subject area requirements. We do not have Area B, Area C, or the quantitative relationship requirements in the College of Engineering. If you are pursuing a dual college / double major, you will be completing the general education requirements for both colleges, but there is unlimited overlap allowed. But again, you do have to adhere to like the Area A2 requirements for COE, and so on. If you are doing the Bachelor of Arts in your Letters and Science major, just remember that those GEs are increased. So keep that in mind. All right. So you do have to contact the department advisor if you are interested in switching into chemical engineering, computer engineering, electrical engineering, or mechanical engineering. Um, Electrical and computer engineering just require within the first year. Chemical and mechanical want it within the first quarter. We would recommend waiting until the third week of the quarter just because these first couple of weeks are generally pretty hectic with students trying to make adjustments to their schedule. But by the third week of the quarter, things should have quieted down a little bit for the departments. And so that would be a good time to start thinking about scheduling an appointment with the advisors to discuss the change of major and any required forms that they have. Again, we encourage reviewing the change of major requirements on the individual department websites. And if you have any questions, reach out directly to the departments. I should say computer science doesn't have a requirement to meet with them, but they do have peer advisors available that can discuss the change of major process with you. And then they have a very extensive website with the change of major requirements. So definitely take a look at that. Um, just another reminder, always make sure that you have a backup plan. So even if you meet the minimum requirements or have a very strong GPA, have all the requirements completed, we still can't guarantee that you'll be admitted into the desired major because, again, the majors are space dependent in addition to needing to complete these prescribed courses as well as GPA requirements. So meet with a letters and science advisor or creative studies advisor to have a realistic backup plan. And then you can also talk to career services about your interest and goals. So maybe you aren't accepted into the particular major that you want, but you can still take a different pathway in order to get into your desired career uh, choice. Um, we encourage getting involved. So we do have several engineering related student organizations. These are available for all students, so not just engineering students. So we would encourage taking a look at the engineering related student organizations. Many of these organizations are doing hands-on projects or they're bringing in industry folk to talk about the industry and or recruitment events. So we encourage getting involved with that. You can also attend career events and network with engineering companies. That's certainly something appropriate. And then you could talk to engineering and science faculty and graduate students about the possibility of getting involved in research, especially if you are thinking about graduate school. So while it's certainly easier to get into a graduate program in engineering if you have an undergraduate degree in engineering. It's not impossible to get into an engineering graduate program through other majors as well. So we would encourage talking to faculty about that. General contact information. The best way to get a hold of the College of Engineering advisors, so myself, Shark, and our colleagues Francis and Haley, is to email us coe-info@engineering.ucsb.edu. Computer science is cs-undergrad@ucsb.edu. Electrical and computer engineering has an inquiry form. I'm not going to spell that out for you, but I think Shark will probably put a link in the chat for you. Mechanical engineering, meugrad@engineering.ucsb.edu. And chemical engineering, cheugrads@engineering.ucsb.edu. And then most of the department advisors will also have booking links on their website for electrical and computer engineering. If you fill out that inquiry form, they'll send you a link to their booking link for appointments. And I think that actually concludes the presentation. That went a little bit faster than I thought it would.